everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm really excited to be sharing with you my November TBR or my to be read list. These are all the books that I want to read in the month of November. October unfortunately was not as great of a reading month as I wanted, so I'm not sure that I can necessarily get to all of these, but I'm putting a lot of books on my TBR just to have options because I like options. And there's kind of three main buckets that my TBR is falling into this month. So the first is Nonfiction November, and the second is Lala-thon, and the third is my books to read before the end of the year list. So if you don't know, every November, Olive from A Book Olive hosts Nonfiction November here on the internet, and it's an initiative to read more nonfiction books. So if technically you read one nonfiction book, you've completed the challenge. However, to spice things up, if you want, Olive has created these like 4 categories you can kind of pick books by. Every year typically a word. This year she did word pairs, so you can pick one or the other, or a book that encompasses both. I picked the 4 nonfiction books that I wanted to read the most and tried to make them fit for a category. So if some of these aren't exact, that's why. But I do have a book for every category, and these are the 4 nonfiction books that I would really like to read in the month of November. So the first word duo is Wander or Wonder, and for this I have I'll Be Gone in the Dark. This is about a hunt for the Golden State Killer and kind of digging deep into that case and all of that information. And so this book tackles the woman who wrote it's kind of hunt to find him and her obsession with finding what happened. And so for that I have her wander, like her journey, and her wonder in what happened. Kind of works. The second word pairing is pastime or pastime. So for this, I'm reading what I talk about when I talk about running, which is a memoir about running and writing. So for me, it goes with pastime, like your pastime of either running or writing. And then pastime doesn't work as well. I think this was written in the past, so we're going to count it. Next up, word pairing is shelf or self. And for this, I plan on reading So You've Been Publicly Shamed, which is a book about people who have been shamed on the internet. So I think it deals very intimately with the idea of self. It's also a book that's been on my TBR for a long time, so it hits that shelf category easily. The last word pairing is macro and micro. And for this, I'm reading The New Jim Crow. This is about incarceration and mass incarceration. I think it's going to deal a lot with the micro and macroaggressions that are very systemic in society that lead to so many issues within that mass incarceration world. So I think it fits, but this is one that I haven't read it yet, so I don't know necessarily that it will. Switching over to fiction, we'll talk a little bit about Lala-thon. Lala-thon is a readathon starting at the beginning of this month, and it's hosted by Lala from Books and Lala, who recently hit 50K. And so for her 50K subscriber milestone, she is hosting for her rereadathon of reading her favorite books. But if anyone wants to join her, she has a list of her favorite books, and they can read. Lala is one of my favorite booktubers, so of course I wanted to see if I could fit in at least one of her favorite books, even if it's not during that week, at least in the month. I'm going to try to go for 2 actually, but if I can just read one of those, I'd be pretty satisfied. These are 2 that I've actually been on my TBR for a long time, but Lala also talks about them a lot and loves them dearly, so I definitely want to read both of them because they sound great. The first is Dress Code for Small Towns by Courtney Stevens, and the second is Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. If you've seen my channel recently, you probably know I want to read both of these. They've been on past TBRs, so definitely excited to pick up one, if not both of these this month. The last category we talked about in the beginning of this video is the books that I want to read by the end of the year. So I posted a video recently that was like 9 books that I want to read by the end of the year. I didn't read any of those in October. I said if I read 3 per month, I'll catch up. Didn't read any on October, but I do have 3 on my TBR for this month, just to see if I can get some of them out of the way so I don't have to read just all those in December. The first is How to Make a Wish by Ashley Henry Blake. I also have Dangerous Girls by Abigail Haas and Night Film by Marisha Passalon. Not going to talk about those 3 books in detail because I talked about them so much in that video, the books that I need to read before 2019. So I will link that in the eye for you if you want to check out more, hear more about those books. But that is all for my November TBR. I know it's a lot of books. I'm probably not going to get to all of them, but I like to have options. It's fun. Anyways, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post new bookish videos every week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!